So I'm a university student. I used to study computer science. I will put each of the tech that I use in a tier list, so let's check it out. Well, check the weather. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the tech that I use every day as a university student studying in Vietnam. So I used to study computer science, but now I changed to business management stuffs because I'll make a video about that. That's a very good story. So and also I work part-time. I do research work. I also do content creation and also teaching and a bunch of other interesting stuffs, right? Okay, the first on our list, you might be thinking something that I use a lot. You might be thinking it's a smartphone. No, absolutely not. I interview other people and they also choose smartphone, but for me, I prefer to use, and I happen to use more, a laptop, which is a MacBook here. So for the laptop, I use my Mac. I love my Mac, and I happen to use this more often than I use my smartphone. For example, I might have 4 hours of screen time, 5 hours of screen time on my smartphone, but I have 9 hours of screen time on this. So yeah, what do I use it for? I use it to study, I use it to do web browsing, I use it for research work, content creation, video editing, and a bunch of other stuff. Even if I relax, I watch YouTube on this thing. So yeah, I only use my smartphone as a small device to connect people. Even when I connect and message people, I use this Mac. So as for my laptop, I use a MacBook Air 15 inches 2023 model M2, which is decent for me for processing power. I haven't had any issues with this. The battery life is pretty good, but for the storage option I'm using 512 gigabytes. Sorry for my apologies, my computer science teacher. Okay, so I use 512 gig. So it's enough. Only it is enough. Only is because 512 is enough for my storage. So what apps do I have here? So the thing that I most use is Final Cut Pro to edit my videos. I also have Premiere Pro, but I used to use Premiere Pro on my PC. I don't see it very native on this computer, so I don't use it. I use Notion for taking notes and stuff. If you want a Notion, I love Notion and Second Brain. If you want to know more about that, comment down below. I'll make a video about it. A complete system, right? And I used to use PyCharm for coding and stuff. I have Blender for my hobby. I make things like I'll show you. Make things like this. Oopsie. I make ship models and stuff, right? And I use a couple of these Microsoft softwares. So that's what I mostly use. Okay, so this is the first one. I love it. So my second most used is of course my smartphone, which I use iPhone 14 Pro. Yeah, a lot of cracks and stuff, but it gets the job done, right? And I mainly use it for connecting with people. Actually, I purchased this because I upgraded it. I had to get a decent camera to shoot myself for content creations. So for that, I purchased DJI Osmo Mobile 6, which is pretty decent. I'll show you how to do it. You just have to click this thing on the phone, and then you can turn this on. Okay, and then if you just snap it on, there you go. So it's like a gimbal for my phone camera. So I've used this for a lot of content creations. I've taken this to my Dala trip and a lot of trips, and this is pretty decent. I like it. I purchased it for. Hey friends, this is on my DJI Osmo Pocket. Oh my god, when I go on a trip, phone has to be the map, the camera, the banking, navigation, connecting, so the battery never holds up, so I have to get a dedicated camera for this. Alright, so the next on my list is my Earpods. For Earpods I use Beats Studio Buds Pro. I don't know it's a pro or not, so this is pretty good. This is pretty decent. It has active noise cancellation. It's the job done, but I don't really like the noise cancellation. The battery life, it's awesome. It's better than I think it's better than AirPods. But the quality, I don't really like it. But this is something that I'm looking forward to change when I have money. Okay, so the next on my list is my iPad. I use iPad 10 Gen, 64 gigabytes. But do I use it? I think this is something that I use the least in the school. So it wasn't particularly useful when I was studying computer science. I'm more into taking notes on computer, typing and stuff. I also write essays on computer, web browsing on computer, video editing on computer, everything else is on computer. So I don't really use it that much. But when I moved to the business management, it gets particularly useful in finance classes. I can do calculations on this. For the note taking, I love Notability here, but I haven't purchased it because it's too expensive. So I'm using a free version of GoodNotes. But it's just that I don't find myself using it a lot than my computer, because even if I want to take notes, I just use my computer, I just type something. So yeah, but this is useful when I'm going with friends, when I'm going out with friends for discussions and stuff. So I just write it down, do the mind maps and stuff, and it gets useful. Another way of using this is that I can connect to my DJI app, so that I can see what my little camera is recording. I can do the settings here, so this is particularly useful on that case. What do I use for content creations? What camera do I use for content creations? So for content creations, right now I'm using 3 cameras. The first one is this one. This is Canon M6 Mark 1, so it shoots pretty decent thing. Shoots awesome pictures. It's a very good camera. It already has Mark 2. It only shoots up to 180p for videos, but I love the footage. I love the cinematic bouquet effect and stuff. So yeah, I use this for my cinematic talking head shots, but right now I'm not using that. And also it shoots very good pictures and stuff. Riju's getting frustrated. So this is the POV camera by Insta360. It's GO3s, and this is very durable, and it's very famous for being very portable and gets the POV shot, because it can shoot up to 4K for 30 minutes, and the camera itself is as small as this little thing. So yeah, this little thing can shoot 4K.
夠啦，空骨錢，夠啦，空骨千抽。
That's it. Hi. Oh, okay. Mango, yeah, mango. How much? How much?
80.
30. Okay. Man, you got change? Hold on. And you can put it right here. And it gets the POV shots. Stuff. Start recording. There you go. And you're recording right now. Stop recording. Exactly. And it's right here. Shut down the camera. There you go. There you go. And it's closed. And I love the most is my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is this one. So this is particularly good. It comes with this mic. Which is one of the best microphone, and it's been very useful in my content creation. It creates it has a gimbal and stuff. It gets cinematic shots, and also it has the very good bouquet effect and stuff. It's not only good inside but also good outside, but it doesn't work on rainy days. You have to be very careful with a gimbal and the moisture and everything. So yeah, I think this is something that I like the most in my content creation. The first bonus item is a physical notebook. So I do use physical notebooks. So when I was a couple of years ago, when I was studying my GCSEs and doing a bunch of other things, I was very opposed to the idea that we need physical books to get things done. I did not like it. At the time, I really wanted to have my iPad. I haven't bought it yet. I was thinking the digital notes are the best, Why do we need physical notes? But in fact, when I start doing stuffs, writing things down can help you remember more and generate just generally more ideas. And also it's very different from taking digital notes. So here, this is the finance that I just did. So I just take it everywhere. Alright guys, this is all for today. If you have any questions or you want any recommendations, you can comment down below. If you wanna connect me, you can go to this Facebook and connect me over there.
I don't bite.